So I was a huge low carb fan for a while. And then I'm like, oh, wow, maybe this paleo thing is, where it's at, because I realized that, oh, when you eat less processed foods, you eat more protein and fiber, you have higher, satiety, and you don't eat as much. And so I kind of fell through the low carb, paleo, keto, carnivore, wormhole that so many people have fallen through. But then I kind of realized, oh, wait a second, the low fat people have just as many success stories. And anyone who just intentionally lowers the fat percentage of their diet is going to immediately have a higher protein percentage, higher satiety per calorie. They're going to have weight loss. Also, in fact, when you equate these low carb and low fat groups, you get the same outcomes. And then I realized, that's only when protein percent is matched. And then I started going down this rabbit hole of protein percentage. And then I became familiar with the research of Doctors Raubenheimer and Simpson, these famous guys in Australia who discovered the protein leverage phenomenon. Humans and many animals basically eat until they get enough protein, and only then do they stop eating. And that's why protein percentage is one of the biggest drivers of ad lib energy intake. Hunter-gatherer world macronutrient average for hunter-gatherers is about 33% of calories from protein. But the standard American diet is all the way down at about 12.5% protein. And then this obesogenic rat chow is at 10% protein. And if you look at things like the databases of people who've successfully lost weight and kept it off, the one thing they have in common is they've managed to get protein to about 20% of calories. And if you look at studies where you take pre-diabetics and force them to eat 30% of calories from protein, you completely cure 100% of all pre-diabetes. And then you look at elite bodybuilders who are usually, living at 35% protein or maybe even 40% protein from calories. And it turns out that just protein percent of calories is probably the single biggest factor when it comes to how many calories you're going to eat. You can do low carb wrong by just eating tons of fat. It's because I have so many patients who have stalled out on ketogenic diets. Mm-hmm. And if keto was really the answer to just being thin and healthy, everybody would be thin and healthy, right? The whole keto community would be like amazing. Sure. Everyone would be blown away. That just really doesn't happen. Like every single person who goes on keto loses 20 pounds instantly, loves it, and boom, stalls out hard and just stays there forever. And the reason for that is because basically you increase your protein percentage and your satiety per calorie when you eliminate refined carbs. But then if the protein percentage is too low or not improved from there, you're going to still overeat calories from fat. Your macadamia nuts and your cheese and your butter, and you're going to get thinner and then plateau out when your protein percent doesn't change. And so the way you get past that is to crank up the protein percentage, eat leaner proteins, get rid of really high fat foods and refined fats like, butter and heavy cream and oil and high fat dairy and all this stuff. And then you can actually bust through this sort of keto plateau. But you can do the same thing on a low fat diet. And if you're really smart, you're doing both, like someone like yourself, like a bodybuilder, is basically just as low carb and low fat as you can get at the same time.
Annotated and summarized, easy to share with loved ones. The description below the title for this video has these summary points.